Hello everybody, you join me today in the ethereal piece here on the Burke Rigg Common at Burke Rigg Stone Circle towards, well, in Ulverston, but the actual village is called Bardsey, and this is the common. So this is the Burke Rigg Common, and behind me is Burke Rigg Stone Circle. And I was with my friend the other week, and we both spotted a very interesting possible alignment with the church and with Chapel Island in the background. There's a chapel on the left hand side and it looks to be exact. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but I just want to talk a bit about this place. And Morecambe Bay, the bay here, is one of my favourite places in the world that I've been so far in terms of pure peace. If you just still your mind here, in fact it's not very difficult to still your mind here, because it's just, there's no distractions, there's no noise, there's no traffic. You know, you can just shut off the mind and have the peace. And it's something rare in the towns and cities and even villages where cars are just shooting past all the time. You have planes, you have public. It's just amazing to be here. You can reset your mind, reset your soul. I'm barefoot now as well, and Silverdale and Arnside, where I've come from, they're some of the best places that I've been to in terms of that as well. They're just incredible when it comes to the sea there that comes in and out, the estuary. It's such sacred sites at Woodwell. I did a video ages ago, I think it must have been years ago now, but I need to do another one at Silverdale and Arnside, because them two are my favourite places around, especially Silverdale. But this place is up there at the moment with one of my favourite places. Stone Circle, where my sister is at the moment stood. So it's a double henge. There's a henge around the outside with the rocks there, and then there's one in the middle here. So it's quite large, but the stones are quite small. I've been to a few stone circles in the last year or two that look a bit like this. So that's the middle. There's the outside, you can see where the henge dips down. And this is the common, absolutely beautiful. In the background over there, there's a structure that I want to see tomorrow. I've not been to this one over there, so I'm going to go and walk to that tomorrow with Athena, my sister. And that is the sea. We're camped to the bottom. I'm going to show you this alignment. So if you come into the centre of the stone circle, there's a church. So if we zoom in, the church spire is directly in line with the left hand side of Chapel Island behind it in the distance. And on the map, the old chapel was at the left hand side. So there's a possible alignment here. And if that is true, once again it proves how our ancestors built these exact structures on a perfect points, spot on, mirroring the ley lines, on these earth energies. And they knew exactly where they are, and they built them exactly in line for us to find and for us to remember. It's incredible. But I'm not saying it's definite, I'm saying it's a possible alignment. But to me, it does look like an alignment. It's another beautiful day to be alive today. So we're in the village of Bardsey itself. We've just climbed a little bit and we are right now at the church, and we're going to head on to find those ruins that I mentioned yesterday. But it's a lovely church, very peaceful as well. Been spraying today. It's a beautiful view from the church. We're finding it difficult to find a path towards this structure. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. There's no signal really from up here to try and find it on the maps. And we've tried to come up this path here to come around. We can't find it anywhere. The sat-nav has just taken us to the driveway of a golf club. Now in the distance, you can clearly see, sorry for the blurriness, an old well house on the side of the grass over there. So that's the first one. But I think what we're going to is a bigger one. And there's another tower in the distance as well, so it looks like this area has a lot of water. I don't know how we've managed to be doing this today, finding a spring on a golf course in a buggy. You couldn't write it really. Wow, so this is the monument. I've just been told that the hole, just as a hole here on this side, is an actual lookout point to the other part of the estate which was this connected to. Could be some sort of ley line or something possible at the other side, maybe on the island or a bit further down. But that's really interesting to know. But to me this is an old giant spring. You see with the arch here, it's phenomenal. There's a cup inside here, like a cup of lifestyle structure, and this isn't there anymore. Look at the pyramids on top, the obelisks and the cupola. And here, look, there's the well cap. This is proof. This is proof here. But apparently, so it's this hole. If you look out here, it positions perfectly a sort of something to see a connection, another structure that was connected to this. I don't really know, I've just been told. That's really interesting, the way that this hole is positioned. It's curved to the left. Again, it's been taken away, the cup that I saw in the picture. So red brick inside this, a red brick arch. Giant. You can see the Lake District in the distance. It's an incredible lighthouse. Look at that. Lighthouse on the hill. What an area, what a place this. I'm in love. And the golf course, taken up in the buggy. So look, it's fallen down or something here. So that's the two pieces of the cup that was once in that section. It was really, really interesting because we got to the golf course and spoke to the people playing golf, and he said there's no actual direct path up to the structure. So there's lots of stories about what the structure was. Apparently some stories are saying in World War One, it was the guys were to do with World War One, the ashes were at that structure, and the three ashes of the suns or something, something like that, three suns, and it's because it's three sides. I didn't realise there was three, so the cup that I've seen on the pictures was at the third side that we didn't go round, because obviously that guy was waiting for us. I don't know if he was the owner of the club or just working there, but he took us up on the buggy, so I was driving the buggy, and he told us that there's a Holker estate. It belonged to the Holker estate family at some point. He said it could go back further than that, but they were based in Grange over Sands, across the sea, so not Chapel Island, across over to Grange. That was where the manor was, and knowing my research now, it was probably connected on a lay where that structure was across the sea to Grange. So interesting though how this family knew about this, and I wouldn't say they built it, probably took it over in their name, but that structure looks ancient, and I'm 100% certain really that it was an old spring, and it was a trio of springs, so the water was coming out three separate sides. And then the narrative could be right, they could have changed it to keep the ashes, but that wasn't the original purpose, the original function, you know. So yeah, very interesting day. Surprising to be driving a buggy, didn't expect that. It's a dream come true. So right now I'm at the Buddhist centre here in Ulverston, and it's a very interesting place because behind me, well everywhere really around here, is the old structures, the old priories that were here way before the Buddhist centre, and they've chosen to build this structure on the site. Now this is what I always go on about, and this is really good to show you what has happened. So we get over time civilizations building their own temples on sites of former structures. This is what happened with the churches, with the mosques, with the synagogues. These types of structures were always built on other sites that came before them, until we go back in time to the original sites. In Britain, for example, the original sites were the temples of the groves, of the trees, of the sometimes we did have stone structures, but so many of these, well, nearly enough, 99% of the old groves cut down and replaced with churches. But this type of structure at the moment is under renovation, massive structure. I'll show you the Buddhist temple after. It's a huge place. And remember, structures like this were originally built because of the energy here already. This is why the structures were built. Okay, so springs, ley lines, earth energies. And this is why the temples carry on being built in the same locations. Sometimes it's a takeover, different civilizations, different races. Sometimes, like this occasion, they've kept the old structures and built the other temple on the site. But I don't know what was on the actual site of the Buddhist temple before. Not done too much research into it. So this is round the back of the structure. They've got a lovely little cafe set up. See how busy it is today? So busy. I came here with my friend only last week, and straight away you can feel the energy at these sites. It's unlike anything I've ever felt here, and this is why there's so many temples, regardless of religion. Religion out the table, the energy here would be here without any of these buildings. It's this place that's emanating it. So this is the Buddhist centre over there. Look at that for a structure. And you can see right near it, I believe that was the old well house for this whole place. There probably would be a few. There seems to be a lot around the area of Ulverston. So right now I am in an ancient woodland. Well, what I think is an ancient woodland. I don't know if it's actually an ancient woodland or it was planted a long, long time ago. But what I'm looking at is one of the biggest trees I've ever seen in my life. It is a Scots pine, so it's native, not far from the Buddhist temple. Literally the Buddhist temple is only there. And it just proves, like I've said before, that originally before the temples, these types of energies, these earth energies, had the groves, had the massive trees. Like, my guess is this tree is at least 2,000 or 3,000 years old. Like, that's just a guess. People may say it's less than that, but I mean, the trunks coming off it are the size of most ancient trees themselves. And this is one of my other favourite trees in the forest. It's wrapped around like a serpent, the roots of this ancient, ancient beech tree. Absolutely massive again. I think it's a yew actually, but it's not, because this is the tree next to it. But it goes so high up, I can't even begin to even explain. Let's even come around and show you the other side. Can't really see, but this is an example. This is another one. I don't think this is a Scots pine again, but it's about similar size to the beech. It's so tall, it's unreal, it's incredible. Never seen anything like this forest before. Now the ancients, they valued these trees above anything else. The standing people, they called them, and they've been massacred over the years. These hold the ancient wisdom deep within their DNA, the trees. We share so much with the trees, humans and trees. The living creatures. Now I believe that there should be a law to stop any tree above 200 years, for example, being cut down, no matter where you are. There's people that I see think they need to cut down the trees when they move into a house. Well, choose another house instead, because the trees were there before you. These standing people. And some can hear music from each individual tree. Each tree produces its own song, its own rhythms. You can tune in and listen and develop that skill. Some have that skill more than others. Incredible place. So if you remember Chapel Island from where we were at Burke Rigg yesterday, that is right in front of us right now. And this whole coastline is so incredible. Got the Lake District Mountains over there. And there's the woodlands we just came from. Just found right here at the centre, thinking this might be a boarded up spring as well, unless this was an old doorway. And you see the symbols here, it's been boarded up clearly. But remember, all these arches, they were always springs. On the way back I had to stop at Ulverston Cemetery. Straight away there's a few structures that caught my attention. The energy here just feels unique. Again, these water structures, let me show you. So as we can see here, all of these structures were originally springs where water would have been flowing from. As you can see, the drain is right here. So this was clearly an old fountain or something like that's been capped. An old building here. It's a big cemetery. That's really interesting structure. And up here, there's something that really caught my attention. So it's really interesting, even more interesting than I originally thought. There's 3 mini chapels, churches, and this takes me back to what I've just learnt back at that structure before. So if you remember back at that structure before, the gentleman that took us, or like guided us in the buggy to that structure was in 3s, the Triskelion, the 3 springs. And here in this graveyard, not far at all away from that, is these 3 churches all in a row, and I've never seen anything like it. Literally 1, 2, 3. Why build 3 churches right next to each other? So yeah, we've had an amazing couple of days with the weather. I did a talk at Woodwell only 2 days ago, and it's raining all week in torrential rain. Before I started the talk, so Woodwell was absolutely gushing with water, but the last few days it's been full sun, so been blessed. So thank you so much for watching this little Ulverston wander, finding some incredible things. So we're going to make our way over to Grasmere now and have a nice little camp up there before heading home to my granddad's birthday. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will see you on the next video. I know I've not been doing too many YouTube videos at the moment, but I want to continue doing a few more at the moment. So yes, I'll see you soon.
Certain ley lines, certain energy sites, and our ancestors mapped these sites, and they did their ceremonies at very specific sites. So I wouldn't be surprised if this site was on a ley line. I couldn't be certain, I'm not going to read it, but where springs form, ley lines are also here. So what happens when a spring is present, we always find that there are churches, there are temples,